So this question, is it always the case that a PhD dissertation should feed into a theory? So we did actually discuss this question in the webinar, but let's just give it a little bit more of a detailed discussion. Yes, I think, and remember, it's either going to be inductive or deductive. So deductive is that you're either testing an existing theory. So when you say that a PhD feeds into a theory, it's the study is derived from a theory that you want to test if you're doing a deductive method. So you're testing an existing theory. If you're following an inductive method, such as grounded theory, where you're able to develop a new theory, then yes, you're developing a new theory. Your PhD is feeding into a theory, but one that you're creating, one that you're developing, one that you're actually contributing now to society. So yes, there will always be some sort of theoretical framework, and then there'll be theoretical frameworks potentially that you need to analyze and understand in your literature review, which may be similar or different or conflicting with the theory that you're testing or the theory that you're developing. So whether it's the subject of your study or whether it's part of the literature that you've analyzed that helps you identify the gap in the literature, theory and theoretical frameworks is the primary sort of mechanism by which research contributes knowledge to the world. We have a theory about how the world works. You can test those theories in practice, and you can test theories in your research. But it is ultimately those theories, through which we as researchers make our contribution to the world. And the more rigorous the study, the higher the impact factor of the journal in which you publish it, etc. All of these factors will just, help drive the usage and the importance of that theory as the value that you've created from your study. So I would just answer point blank, yes. PhD dissertation is always going to feed into theories. Again, at the sort of maybe honors master's level, maybe less so. Maybe it's more hypothetical or driven by, some sort of in subjective assessment of the world around you potentially, or you're just, understanding themes and broad topics possibly. But even then, I would, strongly suggest that you anchor your work on theoretical thinking, theoretical frameworks, etc. And then as a researcher, you're already starting that journey, building up your theoretical sensitivity, your awareness of how you as a researcher approach the development of knowledge, the contribution that you make to the world. Are you an objective, detached researcher in your field as you're gathering the data, or do you believe that you're a subjective, intrinsic part of the data gathering process? In which case, you need to factor, any unintended or inherent bias out of your results. So theory is part and parcel of the world of researchers. You cannot get away with it. So absolutely, PhDs and dissertations and theories all go hand in hand.